from other. Others is some money we have loaned out, tariffs and agreements and stuff, this little, whatever, stuff the government does. Anyway, they've got a little bit of trickling in. Kind of like a kid mowing the yard, you know. You really don't put it in your budget, but there's actually money coming in the house. That's what your other, for your federal receipts. Okay, spending. 2010, they spent $3.56 trillion. Well, okay, what they spend it on? Medicaid and Medicare, spent 23% on that. Social Security, they spent 20% on that. There we are, that's 43%. That's a 2% less than the percentage that they're bringing in. Okay, so anyway, 43% basically goes for Social Security, Medicaid, and all that sort of stuff. Defense, about 20%. You got discretionary. Discretionary, basically, that's this list. This is kind of, I've been through here. This is your discretionary spending. That's all your departments and stuff, a lot of it. Other mandatory, about 12%. That's a lot of your bills and laws that come out, they say the government's going to spend this much to do that and do this. Kind of like health care, the government's going to take, you know, $500 billion out of Medicare, move it over into socialized medicine, and then spend it. Well, that wouldn't come out, then it won't be counted for Social Security or Medicare, it'll be counted for other. Percentage paid on debt, 6%. $3.456 trillion. 6% of that went to interest on debt. What's our debt? Depends on who's counting. A little over 15 trillion. They passed another one for $1 trillion. That's going to bring us about to 16 trillion. I don't understand. Biggest problem it was having was Social Security. They wanted to take and give us a little break. They have for the last couple of years. They've knocked 2% off our Social Security taxes going into the government. Has that helped? Back years ago, we had a lockbox. This account was set up for Social Security. Your monies went in, they paid it out. It was over here by itself. Well, back, I can tell you what party done it. I don't know really what year. I believe it was in the mid-60s. When the Democrats was in power, they said, hey, we'll just turn that over to the general fund. Well, let the general fund go in there and dip at that. So now the Social Security lockbox, whatever you want to call it, has got a big old piece of paper in there that says I owe you a couple $1 trillion. They ain't no money in the Social Security box. They ain't no money in the government. The government ain't got no money. How they getting the money? Well, this is a good one to watch. The other day they appropriated over $1 trillion to get us by for the next couple of months. Now, are we going to have Deitner print us $1 trillion, or are we going to go out and borrow $1 trillion? This is what happens when you print it. You print money, it's like anything else. If you have 100 apples, it's worth so much. But if you have 1,000 apples, and it took the same labor to get them there, they're worth less. When you have dollars being printed out of thin air, they become less. Do you realize gold, not gold, but oil is tied directly to the American dollar? Whenever the American dollar goes down, it makes the price of oil go up. It's just the way it works. What else does it do? It puts a tax on the American people, an unseen tax. When it costs you 50 cents for a box of Gummy Goos, tomorrow it costs you $1. In essence, what you've done, you've gave yourself a 50% tax on Gimme Goos. These ain't changed. Your workplace ain't changed. Your salary ain't changed. But that 50 cents now is going to cost you more to get that. Where does that 50 cents go? It goes to the pocket of the big banks and the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is no part of the government. Damn sure ain't no friend of the government. The Federal Reserve is just a conglomeration of big banks. Go in and look at who owns the Federal Reserves. Really, one thing that surprised me was Rothschild. They're very rich. They're the ones that during the Napoleon years, when Napoleon had his revolution over there, and he went down there and found out who won the battle before anybody else done. He went in, collapsed the stocks, went in, bought up a bunch of stocks, and made a whole bunch of money. That's how they got their start. Probably, they talk about the richest people in the world. They ought to look at the richest families in the world, or the richest estates in the world, or the conglomerations of the world. Because we're pushing one world order, but nobody understands the finances of one world order. They want one world currency. I'm telling you, people, you really don't want that. With one world order, what's it going to be easier to do? Make Mexico look like the United States, or take the United States and make it look like Mexico? Everybody's got to be on the same playing field here. You're going to have the big conglomerate of power, and everybody else below them, all together, all even. You have Africa. You have South America. You have your Arab nations, your Middle East. You have China, Russia, European nations. If you take all of them and everybody's supposed to have the same thing, kind of like the communist believes, everybody has the same thing. Is it going to be easier for us to bring Africa, South America, most of the Arab countries up to the United States level of living? Or is it going to be easier to take the United States down to their level? But I want to think about that. Anyway, I thought that would be my rant for today. And for all of you watching this, let me know what you think, what I need to improve on, where I'm full of it, where I'm not, whatever. I appreciate your comments. And you all take it easy and